Hello, everybody. Today I'm here to discuss some stuff about Mirrorverse. They released a new trailer recently, kind of teasing the next update, and I think it's a really cool trailer. I'm going to play it for you here so you can check it out, but also please support the Mirrorverse YouTube channel because these trailers are so cool. So here's the full trailer.
When the call goes out for heroes, you never know who will answer. Sometimes the best hero is a villain. Someone a little sinister who will get the job done and doesn't care who they have to push aside. Means forging devious alliances to fulfill their schemes. After all, there is strength in numbers, especially when that number is number 1.
I love the cinematic trailers so much. They're so cool. Anyways, clearly they're suggesting that for October we're going to be getting some cool villains. They kind of just celebrated Pixar Fest with 2 new Pixar characters. It makes complete sense that we'll be getting some villains for the kind of Halloween update, I suppose. And I kind of discussed this earlier in my previous Mirrorverse video where I said I thought Jafar would make sense to be coming now since we've been waiting for him for so long and we've got Halloween coming up, so they usually like to add villains during that time. And it seems like I was probably right, since at the end of the trailer, it's pretty obvious they're teasing Jafar. I mean, if that doesn't mean he's coming in October, I don't know what does. But usually they add at least 2 characters. Who knows, maybe they even want to add 3 characters. But either way, it makes complete sense that they would be adding Jafar and at least one other villain. And I think the discussion I want to have is on who that villain could be. Now I realize as I'm saying this I didn't put a lot of thought into who I would want to see, but there are a ton of Disney villains that are really cool. So first up, just talking about some of the ones that we have in the game already. We have Ursula, we have Scar, we have Hades and Maleficent, and was that all? And Oogie Boogie, obviously. And then we also have other ones like Captain Hook, Gaston, the Evil Queen. I mean, there's probably more, but either way, villains are a pretty big part of the Mirrorverse so far. And just talking about, villains that could go with some of the characters we already have in the game. I think a pretty classic villain that we see a lot of times is Randall from Monsters, Inc., which I don't think people would even think about all too much. But for real, Randall's one of the go-tos when they're adding villains, I would say. So we could definitely see someone like that. Alternatively, the Mickey Mouse team is a pretty big, we already have 4 characters in Mickey Mouse, but maybe we get someone like Pete, He's a pretty classic character, would be really cool to see as well. We also have Stitch. We could get some of the, either Jumba or Pleakley. They're not really villains, but we could get Captain Gant too then. Any Incredibles villains, there are a few. Syndrome obviously being the biggest one, but I don't know how much of the Incredibles they want to add into the game. Yokai from Big Hero 6 would be really cool. I would love to see Yokai. I think he just lends to a cool design. You could do a ton of different things with him and make him super scary. Make his mask like his face or something, I think that would be really cool. I don't know how likely that is, but it would be really fun to see. Again, they might add all the Big Hero 6 characters, so I don't know how many more they want to do from that series. We've got Toy Story characters. They could do I mean, we got a few villains over the series. I don't think they'll do Sid. That would be pretty amazing, though. But someone like Lotso, or someone like, what's her name? The doll from the fourth. That's probably pretty unlikely. But like Stinky Pete, I guess, too. We only have one DuckTales character, so maybe Magica Dispel. We have Mulan, and that's it. So maybe we get someone like Shan Yu. I've never thought of him as that classic of a villain, but he could be cool. We've got Merida, maybe we get Mordu. We've got Rapunzel, maybe we get Mother Gothel. And this is just from series we have in the game, you know? I guess actually, yeah, Dr. Facilier is, or Facilier, I guess, whatever, is a pretty big villain that they use a lot, and we have Tiana already, so there is a bit of a precedence for that. I forgot when I was mentioning the other villains, we do have Zurg as well. So, Wally characters seems pretty unlikely to get a villain from that. Finding Dory, I would love to see Bruce, but really pretty unlikely. And then, I guess in terms of stuff we don't have, Cinderella is kind of the first thing that comes to my mind. I don't really know why, but we could get the villain from Cinderella. Cruella de Vil is a big standalone villain who usually comes by herself. That'd be really cool to see. We still don't even have that in Disney Heroes. Some more classic ones would be like the Queen of Hearts, or even Cheshire Cat, I guess, from Alice in Wonderland. You know, Yzma is a pretty big one they like to bring in. Even like Hopper or something from A Bug's Life gets brought in pretty typically. He's an interesting villain, but I've listed quite a few villains. I know there are more, but I think I've probably pretty likely have stated the one that we're gonna get at some point here. Since I've listed so many, I'd be pretty surprised if they brought in one that I didn't already state here. But I also want to hear what you guys think. You can repeat one of the ones I said if you still think it's the most likely. I want to hear your predictions, and who knows, maybe we'll get 3 villains. I think it's pretty unlikely that will happen, but I think it's safe to say we'll get Jafar and somebody else. So I want to hear who you think it's going to be. I'm pretty excited about it, as you can tell. If you want to hear more of my discussions like this about Mirrorverse, let me know. I'd be happy to do more. I was just so happy to see another one of these trailers. I was like, I want to talk about this. I might as well make a video. And I've really been considering trying something like Disney Mirrorverse concepts. It might not be in the same style as the Disney Heroes one. I'm not really sure what I want to do for it, but I've definitely been thinking about it. So let me know what you think about any of this stuff. Thanks for watching, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.